You've got the CCO Winter Showcase coming at you. Match between Apollo D2 and Owl going on here this evening. I am joined in the booth here by Air. Looks like Apollo is indeed showing us a little dive, giving us a little of the Wrecking Ball Hammond. I'm sorry, Wrecking Ball and Hammond are the same person. Give us a little Wrecking Ball Winston.
No, they're not. They're not the same person. What are you talking about?
Well, I guess one's his mech, technically. On the side of Owl, looks like this new team bringing us some Orisa Hog. It's going for a more traditional setup here. Gates are open.
Curious.
Map 1 has begun. Both teams bringing out the Doomfist. Farah here on the side of Owl. It is going to be
down
Apollo.
goes Harambe.
Indeed, indeed. It is going to be a Holy drawing first blood. He turns his attention, gets a nice punch down onto Expiry, onto the Owl Doomfist, picking up 2 quick kills here for Apollo. Or, excuse me, here for Owl. And he storms onto the objective. Finds himself a third, and so far it is all Unholy. Lighting up this kill feed. Giving his team a 3-man advantage, and they're going to get control started here shortly. Oh, and he looks to chase the Moira, gets totally baited into a punch, throws himself off the side. Like a boss coming back through, though, does find that kill on to Miss Kittens. In the end, Owl has got progress going, 6% and counting on the board.
Personally, I'm looking at this, and I said that dive didn't work well because both your DPS got picked off by that Doomfist out the gate. It's really not much
immediately.
you can do there.
And we are seeing, Harambe going over to that McCree. They're also going over to an Orisa as well. Nice hook to start things off. Guile going down low. Healers coming through. Coalescence coming out on the side of Apollo here as they try to push in, and they do get that kill. VR coming up with the nice headshots. Coalescence coming out from the other side as Owl's looking to hold off here, but they're all on that ledge. There goes the halt. Your average boy trying to come back in with a good barrage. He gets shut down by Harambe. He does manage to find 1 kill. Don't think it's going to be enough to flip this thing back over. Unholy trying to drop his Meteor Strike into the pack. Finds nothing but a bunch of death. Apollo have gotten this thing flipped back over. 10% to 34 on the board here.
Yeah, I mean, that worked well, especially that the Wrecking Ball had built his ultimate so fast during that first fight, even though it seemed like they lost the fight so quickly. Down goes the Orisa immediately!
Yeah, once again, P3 the first to fall. Jaboy the first to fall here in the fight. Harambe coming up with a good kill on Like a Boss. No more tank standing, although they did get that res off, excuse me. Orisa is back up and alive, but nevertheless, Owl is quickly beating a fast retreat here as they're going back to reset. They do have that supercharger online. They used a late Valk. I think Caleb may want that one back. I don't know if we're going to see a swap here. No, it looks like they're sticking with it. It was just a late Valk.
The only thing that I have said, even though Like a Boss has gotten a few kills, there goes the supercharger off from Apollo and from Owl, but that was a very late supercharger.
Yeah, Apollo able to hang on there. And that supercharger, once again, a very late add. And Unholy getting the better end of the duel with Harambe there, back off on the side by the Mega. We had mines dropped on the front line, and Apollo's front line just putting all kinds of pressure back on Owl. They're forced all the way back to that ship. We have 72% on the board. 4 ultimates online here for Apollo. They've got the tools to hold out here. We got just that whole hog online as Owl's trying to come back in and make something happen. Meteor Strike coming out.
Down goes the Meteorology Field immediately.
Yeah, I think they were waiting on that one. Looks like that Doomfist for Apollo is just going to drop right back into the safety of his backline. You have Harambe dropping that Deadeye. He was hiding behind the... Oh, they tried to halt him up above the shield, but just didn't quite make it. It was a good thought. Just didn't quite come together in execution. And Harambe pays for it as now Owl's dropping Coalescence, trying to push on the point, but Overtime Wick is a burn, and they've got one chance to make this happen. Coalescence and Soundbayer coming out from Apollo as they look to survive the onslaught. And it is Expiry coming up with first kill. Yeah, but Average answering right back. Drops a 2-man tire into it. We'll see if Owl can pick it up here in the Twilight. Owl, Truth, and Guile countering right back. You've got those mines on point.
Harambe gets another kill.
As it is just a 4v2 here on the objective. Hog finds a kill onto Harambe as he's the last standing member of Owl. They're trying to whittle him down. He's got that take a breather. He's continuing to stay alive. And I cursed him. That was the end of that. Apollo coming up first round.
That was a huge comeback by Apollo. I can't believe they even held that point. They were down to just their Orisa. This closer control center map really is great for Ryan Zarya, the Reaper, Junkrat, players like that, and especially a Mei, your average boy going to Mei. So we'll see what happens here when they come together. We're going to get a Brigitte Moira also on the side of Apollo.
Yeah, Owl choosing to come out with the Orisa Hog here, McCree May, and I think they're going to be fighting an uphill battle. Unless they've got a specific plan here that I'm not thinking of, that I'm not seeing, I think Apollo's got the edge here in the composition. All that close range damage coming in with the Ryan Zarya, and they're going to path right up into light side, put the pressure on immediately. Like a boss. Like a boss comes up with first blood, getting that kill onto the Reaper. Applebee's going to find the kill onto the main tank, though, with Orisa going down. Moira drops as well. No more primary tank, no more primary heals. Owl in a world of trouble here. Good charge coming out, finding some exit kills, and it is going to be Apollo picking up first control.
So that fight is exactly how you should always initiate against an Orisa Hog. Go forward, especially with their lowered shield. You just push forward with the Ryan Zarya. Trust your healers to make sure to keep you alive. You just push forward, hold RT.
Yeah, they do a good job of just storming over him and not giving him the room they need to work. With that, Guile's come back. He's got that Earth Shatter online. Not much to speak of for the ult economy otherwise. We do have Owl switching over to a Reinhardt Sigma. They've also gone to a Brig Moira lineup here. Effectively resetting their ultimates on both tanks and both supports. Nice Maywall coming out. And Jaboy is caught in a very awkward spot here. Miskitten's going to go ahead and drop that Coalescence. Oh, they tried to go and throw an Earth Shatter in, but nice shield coming out of the Sigma. Able to block that Earth Shatter. Nevertheless, still kills piling up here for Apollo. That made down to just one. Applebee's coming up with that final blow. And they are holding strong right here at the choke.
So they are going to have a Graviton Surge and a Rally on the side of Apollo, but they are going to hopefully have that Hail Mary freeze from May. Let's see if she can grab anything, maybe even the Reinhardt, see if they can just push through with that.
Well, and Holy's managed to sneak in. He's up in the crow's nest overlooking the objective. Yeah, and that's brought the entirety of Apollo all the way back here. They're not holding that front door anymore. As Owl sweeped around through the outside, coming up through that far entrance and going in through server room. Truth does have that Graviton Surge online, ready to go. Maywall comes out early. Grab is huge! Picks up 6. They try to counter block with a Blizzard. Is it going to be enough? 2 members drop quickly. Although they do have several members frozen. Truth goes down. Guile down super low. Harambe goes down. The counter punch back from Owl is effective and decisive. And they are now have the advantage. They're going to try to storm onto point. Defensive Maywall coming up, trying to allow time for reinforcements, trying to build up as much charge as possible. They go ahead and invest that Blizzard. Gets the Rhine out of his freeze. Right on the edge of that. But there's not enough reinforcements to find the kills. It did do a good job of stalling up to 97%. So despite the fact that Owl have gotten this thing flipped back over, they have to hold the entirety. We are in one fight territory.
Oh, that goes to Reinhardt immediately. That's a huge stagger.
Yeah, good fire strike coming out. I don't think Apollo can push in there minus their Reinhardt here. Oh, Harambe caught in a weird position and another great stagger kill coming through.
And there's a huge shatter? No, it doesn't get anyone. That's a
Guile
not a shatter, they are trading.
Yeah, Guile able to get his shield up just in time, but as he moves in, Maywall comes up. He's divided off. Yeah, divided off from the rest of his team, and there's no heals, no one to keep him alive. Truth goes down as well. No more tank standing on the side of Apollo. Harambe's going to go ahead and try to invest that Death Blossom, but I believe he got stunned out of it by the Brig. And now he is running for dear life as you just have a Reaper and a couple supports left. Guile's made his way back into this battle, but we need to get a reset here out of Apollo. They need to get all 6 back together. They need to make a concise effort here, push through this choke.
Yeah, I think they were just throwing into their ults into that fight, hoping one of them would work, and it really just came down to Owl had an answer for every single one of their ults, so now they're going to try and do the same strategy that Apollo had. They do have the Earth Shatter coming into this, so let's see what happens.
Well, it's going to be Owl opening up with a Blizzard. Looks like most of the members of Apollo were able to get out of it, but Apple not so lucky, caught right in the heart. As the Ice Queen manages to take her down, but Truth finds the kill onto Unholy as they
huge shatter.
Flopped over to a Far. The Far gets taken out. Oh, and then Guile answers back with another big shatter of his own. Finds the kill onto Jaboy. Your average boy goes down as well. All the boys are back in spawn. And Harambe now coming up with 2 big exit picks. They're going to get this flame flipped over. And barring a miracle, they're going to take control center and a 1-0 lead.
That was a huge pick. Here comes the Graviton Surge to keep him off point, and there goes Apollo up 1-0 in this series. If we were being completely honest, the Mei on the side of Owl put up a wall to stop the Reinhardt from charging their Mei, which may have cost them that last fight.
I'm expecting this to be. Oh no! I was expecting this to be the 6-man grab. This is going to be early
Nope.
on in the match. Yeah, this is the first engagement right here. Good play coming out of Truth on that Zarya, all map long. We'll be back in a moment with map 2. We'll see if Owl can answer back when we return in just a few moments. As Owl have chosen Eichenwald. We're going to head to beautiful Germany. Here, see if they can answer back. Come back and tie things up as we head into map 2. We did have some subs coming in. Everyone, what do we got in the substitutions?
Substitutions, we are getting Lucky Dog in for Miss Kittens, and we are getting It Blunt Wheezy in for Kayla 2 Awesome on the side of Owl, and the first one was for Apollo.
We're going to get Owl starting us off on the attack here.
So you're going to get the Rhine Sigma, which did work out for them a little bit on the last map. It's just last fight, it was a little bit hectic. I feel like maybe 1 or 2 mistakes. Could have gone either way on that last fight, to be completely honest.
Yep. Well, and Apollo on the side of the defense here, bringing us a little Orisa Hog. They're going to put Harambe on the McCree, bringing that Mei back into battle. They're going to use Baptiste and Lucio to keep the team topped off and alive.
Yes, I need a hug, Orisa. Give me a hug.
Like you say, on the side of the offense, we're getting that Ryan Sigma. They're also bringing Bastion and Pharah. Nope, scratch that. Make that Soldier and Pharah. They'll have that Mercy Pocket for our favorite flying hero with the Moira to keep the tanks alive.
Oh, down goes... Oh, Holy goes so fast.
Yeah, Harambe opening things up with a quickness, able to find first blood. They do have that Mercy there. They're going to get the res off, so we are back at a 6v6 here.
You do have the Mei pushing a little bit forward, being a tad bit aggressive, and the Immortality Field comes out for Apollo very quickly.
Yeah, so far it's just poking and prodding here. Defense holding around the tower, trying to build some ult charge. And look at that. Lucky Dog already with an Ant Matrix online, ready to go. Barely 40 seconds into the fight, and it's coming out immediately as they try to come around tower here. That Reinhardt just caught on the other side of the rubble. Doesn't look like anybody's quite able to get any LOS that they're looking for.
On the side of Owl, too.
Well, and now Jaboy is trying to push in there. Good Maywall coming up, trying to divide him off from the rest of his team. But they are able to push past. Healers are going to be there with them, and now
down goes your average boy.
Now it's a fight over the objective here. Yeah, good shot coming out of Harambe, able to clip the wings of that Pharah, and they've got a 2-man advantage. And Owl just desperately scrambling to try to find an answer here. Boss goes down. The supports are trying to run away. No such luck. You want to trip back to spawn? Harambe will happily oblige. As he's got a Deadeye online, they're going to have a bunch of ultimates here on the side of the defense, as a matter of fact. Coming up on a full 6-stack, Lucky Dog with his second Ant Matrix in a $130.
That's crazy, and we almost got 5 ultimates. 6 ultimates on the side of Apollo against the 4 ultimates, now 5 ultimates on the side of Owl, so we're going to have a huge fight on our hands next fight.
Indeed. Unholy dropped that tack visor early. I think he may have wanted that one back. But Jaboy's going to drop an Earth Shatter down. He manages to find a couple with that. We have the Deadeye and the Supercharger coming out from the other side. Combined, they are going to find 3 kills despite the great Earth Shatter coming out. But with all that damage from that Supercharger, Owl just does not last long.
That was a good use of ultimates, the Supercharger and Deadeye, to really counter that Pharah's ultimate.
Yeah, great play. Great play on the side of Apollo there, no doubt.
I feel like I don't know if the Pharah is really going to work. It's a good switch to the Junkrat, especially since Harambe kept picking the Pharah out of the sky, even with a pocket.
Yeah, and with that, Shiny's going to go over to that Baptiste so they can use that Immortality Field here on the ground, kind of help the front line a bit more. And we do have Owl just charging right on in. Members of Apollo forced back onto the objective there, trying to find a different posture. They throw out an early Immortality Field. Oh, and a great Fire Strike comes out and finds Harambe. That's a big chunk of damage sent back to spawn. And with that, Jaboy's just charging right on in, swinging for the fences. He finds the Baptiste. Lucky Dog goes down. We got Blizzard coming out from the other side, and the Blizzard finds quite a few members. 4 members of Owl get caught in that Blizzard, and Gal spawns back with 2 kills before he goes back to spawn himself. I don't know if they have enough reinforcements on either side. It looks to be like a 3v1 here on the objective, maybe a 3v2. And with just 50 seconds on the clock, Apollo is looking to hold on, although a late kill coming through onto the Apollo Mei. So a small window of opportunity here for Owl.
Still got ultimates on the other side. We have the Gravitic Flux, and hopefully he can build up an Earth Shatter, and we can get an Ant Matrix on the side of Owl. We're going to have quite a few ultimates on both sides again during this fight, and let's see who really uses their ult economy the best.
Well, they need to drop that gravitic flux quickly. They don't want to give Applebee's a chance to get that sound barrier up. And he is going to do just that and finds Applebee's with it. Best of both worlds there. Coalescence coming out from that side as well as they look to press the members of Apollo back into the tiny house. Nice rock comes out and takes care of Guile. Truth trying to counter back, throws his whole hog into the mix, see if he can do something to find some of these kills, equalize here on the objective, but he's whittled down to 30 health. Unholy throwing in that tank configuration. Now he's got his feet planted. He's set up on the objective. 1 point on the board here for Owl. They're going to start moving to point B.
A couple fights in, they realized they had to initiate with those ultimates instead of waiting for the ultimates to come to them. And now they have that pirate ship, that faux pirate ship coming on. No pirate ship. They're going to go with the Genji at this point.
Yeah, Unholy making an interesting swap over to the Genji. I thought for sure he was just going to park it on that payload and ride it through. But Guile's going to come back there.
Probably the entire reason why he didn't.
The defense holding up super close. They drop a supercharger and Guile able to get some nice headshots quickly since that Junkrat back to spawn. They're on the side of Owl. Now they're trying to push forward and hold this very aggressive posture. Supercharger dying on out. Nevertheless, their aggression has not relented. Earthshatter comes out. That lands good, finding 3, but a great sound barrier coming out of Apple. Able to keep that team topped off, and then Jaboy just gets hooked into the back line and finds himself in a world of hurt. Coalescence comes out from the other side as Owl's trying to stabilize here, trying to see if they can counterpunch back. Tire coming out of average. It's looking for the back line. It finds 2. Blunt manages to pick up 1 as well, and Owl have indeed managed to counter back, find the kills, and get this payload moving through point B. Full steam ahead.
I think that definitely that Junkrat switch was probably the best things they could have done, especially with Harambe legitimately taking Expression out of the entire fight every single time. Or your average boy, my bad.
And
we do have
we have a couple of boys here on the side of Owl, no doubt. He was able to build up that tire super quickly, though, and that definitely allowed them to do what they needed to do. Deadeye coming out from the back right side. He's got a lot of skulls in there, but I think there's a big giant shield in the way and a rock coming all the way across the gap. Manages to find Harambe, but not before he could pull the trigger. Nevertheless, no damage done there, but it is Applebee's coming up with opening blood here, and then Truth follows up with a kill of his own, taking out that Junkrat before he's able to build up any more towards that dangerous tire. And with just 30 seconds on the clock, that could be a very important pick indeed. He's charging towards the heart of Owl. Whole hog in his pocket, ready to go. Here comes his team backing him up, and they find a great pick! Japoy without his shield, without his heals, he gets dropped.
That's a huge stun.
Yeah, they're just steamrolling over the members of Owl now. Only 12 seconds on the clock as they are owning all of this space here in Street Phase.
It has to be a quick contest. They gotta hope that they can touch it. Let's see if the soldier can touch it in time. Oh no!
No, he is found out. There's no one near the point. 116 meters is all Owl's gonna be able to find here on Eichenwald. On the side of the offense, Paulo's showing us some Orisa Sigma here. They're teasing us a little bit of pharmacy with the Baptiste.
I mean, if they see that, they're not going to be running the McCree or any hit scan. I really don't see why the Pharah wouldn't work unless the Doomfist can very much keep the Pharah in check. Or the Baptiste, for that matter, as well.
Yeah, this could be a great pick coming out of Apollo. I'd have to agree with you. Now, with the recent buffs to Baptiste's gun and his primary fire, he's definitely more of a threat to Pharah in the sky, but I don't think it's a reliable counter.
Immediately goes unholy.
Yep. Expedition comes right over the rooftop and finds 2 with the rockets, and then just drops right on top of him, descending out of the skies like an eagle and finding his prey. As the 2-man advantage, Apollo is just storming onto this objective. Guile's going to find a 3rd kill there. Now they turn their attention to this tank line as the big bodies of the tanks are the last ones left alive. Oh, Expo falls into a trap, but nevertheless gets the rocket onto your average boy, sends the Junkrat back to spawn. And Apollo quickening him.
Got a 5K there.
Yeah, quick point A on the back of that excellent play coming out of Expo on the Pharah. Ooh, Harambe with a nice open pick there. Manages to get the shot onto Unholy, who swapped over to that Widowmaker in an effort to try to counter this Pharah. We also have your average going over.
Yeah, a huge stun on Expression.
Yep, your average also went over to a McCree to try to counter this Pharah as well, and they do manage to get that kill. Rez coming through, but Apple pays for it. No more mercy, but the Pharah is back on the playing field. We get that pulse bomb coming out, and it finds Baptiste, so no more immortality field there as well. Like
Oh,
a boss,
oh my
looking to
God.
answer back, rocks the Pharah. There's something you don't see every day.
That's
Truth
the
gets-
second time already.
Truth answers back with a nice rock onto the Sigma on the other side, but I don't think Apollo has the reinforcements here. Owl finally able to get their feint planted, and we should get a reset out of the offense. They're getting their reinforcements back in here. That Pharah is managing to loop around towards the backside. Barrage is ready to go, and you can see X-Bio coming in. Drops the barrage, but no, the lucky dog there. Able to pick him off. I'm sorry, it was Unholy, able to pick him off. The lucky dog finding a pair of kills in that engagement, and despite the barrage not finding much, the rest of the members of Apollo storm over the front line. They managed to get this
Barrage really
payload
took their
moving.
attention away from the front line.
Well, and with a McCree and a Widowmaker, they don't have a whole lot of frontline presence, don't have a whole lot of tank busting going on, and now Apollo can smell victory. They are right on top of the yellow square. Raxu coming in on the Doomfist trying to make something happen. Blunt there with the Amp Matrix trying to do something. Oh! Truth got booped off the side, drops his Gravitic Flux to save himself, manages to pick up the kill with it, and they are going to take the 2-0 lead and the match victory.
Oh, that was a dominant performance.
Yeah, Apollo just looking absolutely unchecked and unhinged here on Eichenwald. He gets some nice shooting coming out on Holy here as he's able to shut down the barrage. In the end, it is Apollo picking up the second point. Although we move back with map 3. See if Apollo can continue this sweep or if Owl's able to get a point on the board when we return in just a few moments. All right, we did have at least one sub coming in. Two subs, one sub for each team.
Sub.
Yep.
Yes.
What do we got? What do we got, Airborne?
We have Miss Kitten in for Apple Beige, and we do have Kayla 2 Awesome in for It's Blunt Woozy.
Both of those in the support roles for each team, respectively.
Yes.
Oh, I'm showing you a picture of Eichenwald here. We're not going to Eichenwald. We're going to Oasis.
I mean, I wouldn't mind
There we
going
go.
to Germany one day.
But we're looking at a pretty traditional dive comp. I mean, we do have the Wrecking Ball as opposed to the Diva, but we're running the Genji Tracer. We're going to have Winston, Lucio, and then you'll have the Moira in there, kind of help keep him topped off. I think that's an interesting pick to throw in with the dive competition, but she does have a lot of that mobility, a lot of survivability. On the other side of the fence, we are getting Ryan Zarya here out of the side of Owl. They're going to be running Doomfist Reaper. So this could be a dangerous damage duo for the dive tanks to be running into. We'll see if Apollo has any success here. It was Unholy on this Doomfist that gave them so much trouble on Lijiang Tower in their original dive comp. Forced them to make that switch. Doomfist finds the Moira in the back there. Didn't like what he saw, though. Kind of just poking and prodding. Didn't want to overcommit too much. Now you've got that Wrecking Ball diving in. Oh, but he runs right into that same Doomfist. Winston there to try to keep him up. Oh, lucky dog with the two big boops off the side. As they're fighting on the back by that Mega. He takes the Moira and the Zarya and sends them into the drink. Trying to balance this thing right back out. And then Guile turns his attention. They find the kill onto that Mercy. No more res available. Main tank is down. Good jump onto the Reaper.
Oh.
And indeed, Apollo finding success here with this dive comp here in our opening of Oasis.
Ooh, we're going to get that dive mirror, it looks like. Oh, Like a Boss is not switching off, though.
We're just going to get a Winston here in an off-tank role.
Ooh.
Not something
That's
you
a way
see
to
very
go out.
often. It's just because they don't synergize very well. They seem to have opposing objectives there. We do have Guile with this Primal Rage online, trying to stop this aggression as they're coming in, but Boss does have that Earth Shatter,
Oh, there goes
and
the
he's going to
Shatter.
drop it, and
Two to
that
three.
finds 3. The hammer is good. 2 kills immediately come out. Miss Kitten tries to throw that Coalescence down to keep the team alive, but it is not enough. Harambe does answer back with a pick onto the Reaper, but it's still a 2-man advantage here. Boss chasing down the Moira with his hammer. Triple A coming up with 2 big picks on that Winston. Guile was in there trying to stall for as long as possible. The Doomfist eventually finds him out. But Apollo continuing to stall this thing, continuing just to build as much percentage as they can with these staggers. You have a Lucio waiting here, trying to see if he can go on and touch. Wrecking Ball's coming on to touch now as they just continue to build more and more percentage. Not looking to win team fights at this stage, just trying to stall for as long as they can. More back on point, Winston back on point as well. He is going to go ahead and drop that Primal Rage. He gets stunned as the Doomfist is just chasing him around as he's trying to find a kill onto
it's a
that
huge
Mercy.
pick.
Runs her right into the mines. Been dropped by Truth. What an excellent play coming out of the tank line there. And in the end, I don't believe it. Apollo hanging on here, never losing control of this objective. They do finally get the team fight win coming through. What a play. What a play there, Airborne.
That was a huge play, honestly. Slowly staggering onto the point, but making sure you stay alive long enough for your team to group up and get back on the point using ultimates to win that fight.
Your boy's going to drop an early Primal Rage and just leap onto the objective in an effort to try to get Overtime Wick started here. Perhaps just try to find something. Go in there swinging and angry. Harame's throwing down that Bob, and he manages to find one. Expo's going to drop the Blade as well. Blade finds the kill onto the Winston. One by one, Owl throwing themselves on the point. One by one, sent back to spawn. They're trying to use that Meteor Strike, but Unholy having no luck. And it is going to be Apollo taking City Center here.
Yeah, I mean, after the first map where they learned that Unholy could really wreck their DPS line and their entire dive lineup, they really either avoided him or focused him that entire time.
They're able to find success on the back of this dive comp. Now they've swapped off the Tracer Genji. We are going to get Expo onto the Doomfist, Harambe onto the McCree.
So we're gonna see if they're gonna bank on them, maybe running that Pharah, but maybe the McCree is more for the Reaper.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be the counter of the Reaper. It's exactly what I was thinking as well. We are getting Reinhardt Orisa out of the side of Owl as they look to try to aggress on a point, bring in the new version of that double shield composition. Wrecking Ball running through, trying to make something happen, but you can't knock that Reinhardt around much anymore. Good Hulk comes out. Fire Strike pierces right through quite a few members. He's able to build up some ult charge. And they continue to swing on him. Kayla opening up with first blood. Nice charge! Finds the Lucio. And Owl with a two-man advantage here, not going down without a fight. Trying to build up some percentage here. All six of them still left on this point. Your average boy picking up the 2 exit kills there. And it is Owl picking up first capture percentage here on Gardens.
Oh, we are going to get the Pharah, the double spam out of the dive comp from Apollo. So we're going to see what happens there.
Double spam, double dive tanks.
Though we do have ults coming up on the side of Apollo. We also do have ults coming up on the side of Owl as well.
Yeah, Truth just getting his mines online as we speak, as they were staging on the outside, and the dive commences with that. Supercharger comes out from the defense as well as a Coalescence. But Apollo throws their own Coalescence in the mix, and they trade blows 2 for 2. It's a 4v4 here on the objective. Gal throws down that Primal Rage. Was trying to find something, was just forcing them, I believe the members of the heals, members of the support group, back away from the rest of the team. But in the end, it is Unholy coming up with that pick. He's got the Death Blossom online at this point. Oh, he gets found out. Expo chasing him up to that high ground and gets that pick. Good play coming out of that Junkrat.
The double spam coming out in spades for Apollo.
They do manage to catch out your boy and your average boy there. Truth was caught in a bit of an awkward position in the back line. But yeah, it's Hammond. He was able to pop those adaptive shields, roll to safety, and now the rest of his team has joined him here in this aggressive posture.
So we do
he
have
still has those mines
online. There
online.
comes the Death Blossom taking out Harambe and Lucky Dog.
And Harambe was holding that barrage as well. That was a well-played, well-timed Death Blossom. Finds the pick onto Guile, coming up with a 3K there in that engagement. Now he is trying to chase down the Moira, thinks better of it. In the end, they do get capture percentage going back up. We have 23 to 63 on the board. Quite a few ultimates online for both teams as well.
Looks like we got a Junkrat down to the Mega. See if he can grab up there. See if he can grab a good Riptire.
Well, he's throwing himself onto this high ground, and here comes that tire. Lucky Dog open up with a boop onto that McCree. He circles his stairwell, make sure to check his 6. Now he's going to try to drop it onto the Reinhardt, perhaps. Oh, shield comes out just in time. What great placement on that shield. No damage taken. But Coalescence coming out from Apollo, and they continue to press on the front line. But a great shatter. Yeah, 4 members of Apollo fall under the weight of that hammer. He does manage to find the final blow onto Guile, but they lose one in the process. Barrage comes out, does not seem to find much. You've just a Moira Reaper in that Reinhardt left on the objective. A late swap to the Brig as she comes out. Well, not super late as that rally is going. And like a boss, picking up a couple kills. Deadeye comes out and finds the kill onto that Pharah as well. And it does look like Owl will hold on here. Barring a miracle, we got the stall rage coming out from Guile, but he won't last long. Overtime Wick is burning down. Lucio just coming back to touch. He drops that sound barrier out. Is it going to be enough for reinforcements to come back in? Miss Kittens drops, trying to make it down. Supercharger comes out on the side of Owl as they're looking to hold on here. Tracer swap coming out of Apollo as they just continue to try to make something happen, but they are not finding any success. Owl have tied up Oasis.
I think that was just a stubbornness of change on the side of Apollo. They really wanted that to make that entire, so this either decides whether Apollo takes this 3-0 or Owl can actually take a map off of Apollo and hopefully go into this with not a 0-3 map differential.
Well, like you mentioned, there's just not much high ground for the dive tanks to work with here on University, so we are getting the Ryan's area. So we're also getting a Symmetra May. So looking to just play this utility, control this choke, and they have a Lucio on their side, enabling to get in that position quickly. Nice boot comes out from the Brig, though, sends the Reinhardt down into the hole, and that could disrupt their entire defensive stance here, as the posture has quickly shifted, and Owl with the positioning on the objective, and coming up with 2 opening blows. DPS duo showing up, make that 3, as your average boy able to find 2 kills there on the McCree, and it is Owl picking up first control here on University.
And that was just the DPS, and Lucky Dog keeps getting taken down first. Either he's too aggressive or he's too passive. Either he's unlucky or something, or they're focusing him, because Lucky Dog has gone down first every single fight at this point.
Well, and Shiny with the great whip shot, able to push that Reinhardt back into the hole. And without their big shield, the DPS just ran wild. Ooh, Average Boy takes a big shot from an Icicle, and the follow-up is theirs. He goes down. Opening pick coming through from Expo. And now they just storm onto the objective here. One-man advantage, and Guile moving in, swinging his axe. Nice bubble coming out. He's got the Brig caught in an awkward position. Charge comes out, but just barely able to get to that May.
Dueling charges.
Yeah, Guile answering right back, takes that Brigida off the playing field, now turning his attention on to the opposing Reinhardt. Both of which do have their Earth Shatters online, and Average Boy answering right back, trying to turn the tide on this thing. Unholy finds himself a kill as well. Truth is there to get the revenge kill onto your Average Boy, but they still have that Doomfist to deal with, and the tank line is still standing tall. Unholy's going to go ahead and throw that Meteor Strike down as Apollo is running for their lives. 62% on the board here for Owl. They're going to have Supercharger and a Deadeye online.
At this point, they need to push up forward, get into that Orisa's face, and let their Symmetra really build up that ult charge. They got to make sure if they're going to be running that Symmetra, they're really going to need to get up in their face with it.
Yeah, Mason Metro both. They've got to close this distance and close it quickly. Oh!
He got booped
What a
with the shatter!
boop! Booped into the hole as he threw his Earth Shatter, and it
Lucky
just
Dog
falls
going down
into
again.
waste. Deadeye comes out from the other side, and once again, Lucky the first to drop, falling victim to that ultimate. Unholy getting frozen, but it does look like he is able to escape the icy depths of the icy grip of that May. And your Average Boy answering right back, finding the kill onto Harambe. Overtime Wick is a burning blizzard. Comes out from the other side, though. Several members are caught in it, and they find a pick. But I don't know it's going to be enough. Unholy finding himself a kill like a boss with a good charge onto Truth. And Owl with the prevailing members here. They have full 6 on call, ready to go. Just 2 members of Apollo trying to stall this thing out in a desperation attempt. Good punch, predicting that Tracer's recall. And managed to push her right into the wall. Looking to follow up onto the Moira, finds the kill onto the Moira. Lucky drops as well, and Owl coming up here on map 3, able to take it and get a point on the board.
That was a huge game. They played their game plan, and I feel like that probably could have run them most of the entire series, but Unholy with huge Reaper plays on the second Oasis point.
Well,
this Death Blossom was key.
Absolutely key. Again, that Pharah was holding that barrage. Great play coming out of Unholy. And a good showing out of Owl altogether. This is the first time I have seen this team myself and many of the players on it. So it's their first match here in this tourney. At the end of the day, we do have Apollo walking away the victors here 2-1 versus Owl in this CCO Winter Showcase matchup. That is going to do it for this match. Airborne, thank you so much for joining me, my friend.
No problem.
Remember to look out for each other in game and out. We'll see you next time.